Hey guys, in this video we're gonna learn how to use the distance formula. Our answer could either be in a radical form or you can plug it in the calculator, but I think we're just gonna leave it in radical form and simplify it if we can. Now this formula looks really long and confusing, but it's really not that bad if you take it one step at a time. It's really easy once you get a hang of it. So we're gonna do problems with a line on a graph, and then we're also gonna use ordered pairs. So in our last video I did midpoint formula, and for the midpoint formula we just found the midway point of a line. But for distance formula, it's used to find the distance between 2 points. So the points could be either on a graph, so you're finding the distance between the 2 points, or if they're just ordered pairs, you'll find the distance between the 2 points. So what I do is first plug in everything. So d equals the square root of x1 minus x2. It doesn't really matter if you put the 6 first or the 3 first, because you'll square whatever you get after you subtract them anyway, so it doesn't matter if the number becomes a positive or a negative, because when you square it, the answer would always be positive. So 6 minus 3 squared plus negative 7 minus 5 squared. So first we're gonna do 6 minus 3. So 6 minus 3 is 3, and then when you square 3 it becomes a 9, plus negative 7 plus a negative 5, which is a negative 12. So a negative 12 squared is 144, because 12 times 12 equals 144. And then 9 plus 144 is 153. So your distance equals to the square root of 153. So you can either plug this in the calculator, or what we're gonna do is just simplify the square root. So the highest factor are 9 and 17. So the square root of 9 is 3. So your answer is 3 root 17. So this is your final answer. So for our next problem, again we're going to plug everything in. So d equal to the square root of x. So negative 5 minus 3, then you square that, plus 4 minus 1 squared. So a negative 5 plus a negative 3 is a negative 8. So negative 8 squared would be 64, plus this will equal 3. So 3 squared is 9. So d equals the square root of 73. And this is our final answer, because the square root of 73 cannot be simplified. So now we're going to do a couple problems with the line on the graph. So first we basically have to label the points. So this point is at negative 5, negative 4. And then the other point is at negative 1, negative 4. So now we just solve it like normal and put the points in the formula. So d equals the square root of x, so negative 5 minus negative 1 squared, plus negative 4 minus negative 4 squared. So this becomes plus plus. So negative 5 plus a positive 1 is negative 4, and negative 4 squared is 16. Plus, this also becomes plus plus. So this is 0, so 0 squared is just 0. So now this just becomes the square root of 16, and square root of 16 is obviously 4, so the distance equals 4. So then the next problem, we're going to label the points again. So this point over here is at negative 2, 0. And then this other point is at 3, negative 5. So now we have to just plug it in like normal. So d equals the square root of, let's see, negative 2 minus 3 squared plus negative 5 minus 0 squared. So this becomes plus a negative. So negative 2 plus a negative 3 is a negative 5. When you square that, you get 25. Plus negative 5 minus 0 is just negative 5. And then you square that and you get 25. And so our distance equals the square root of 50. And we can simplify this. So you can pull out a 25 and a 2. And the square root of 25 is 5. And then 2 is left on the inside. So our distance is 5 root 2. Pause the video, grab some paper, and try solving these problems on your own. So first we're going to find the coordinates of one point. So this point, the very top point, is at 1, 5. And then the other point is at 2, negative 2. So now you should have plugged in the numbers into the formula. So our x's are 2 and 1. And then our y's are negative 2 and 5. So now we just solve it like normal. So 2 minus 1 is 1. 1 squared is 1. Plus, this becomes plus plus. So 5 plus 2 is 7. 7 squared is 49. So d equals the square root of 50. And we can simplify this. And it's simplified down. So the factors are 25 and 2. Square root of 25 is 5, and then 2 is left on the inside. So you should have gotten d equals 5 roots. So for the next problem, you should have found the coordinates first. So this one is at negative 3, 3. And then the other point is at 2, 2. So now plug it in the formula. So our x's are negative 3 and 2. And then our y's are 3 and 2. So negative 3 plus a negative 2 is a negative 5, so negative 5 squared is 25, plus 3 minus 2 is 1, so 1 squared is 1, so it becomes 26. And you can't simplify this, so your final answer is d equals the square root of 26. Pause the video again and try solving these problems on your own. So we're going to just plug in the numbers because we already have the coordinates. So x, y, x, y. So d equals the square root of, so our x's are 2 and negative 1. plus negative 4 and 2. So this becomes plus plus, so 2 plus 1 is 3, 3 squared is 9, plus, this becomes plus a negative, so negative 4 plus a negative 2 is a negative 6, so negative 6 squared is 36. So then D equals the square root of 45. We can simplify this. 9 is the biggest factor, so 9 and 5. So the square root of 9 is 3. And then 5 is left over. So your answer is D equals 3 root 5. So now we just have to plug in the numbers. So D equals the square root of, our x's are negative 7 and a negative 2 plus negative 4 minus 0 squared. So this becomes plus plus. So negative 7 plus 2 is a negative 5. So when you square, that's 25. Plus negative 4 minus 0 is just negative 4. So negative 4 squared is 16. So D equals this. And then 25 plus 16 is the square root of 41. And you can't simplify the square root of 41, so your final answer is D equals the square root of 41. I hope you got all those questions right. So that's about it for this video. If you liked it, please give it a big thumbs up. And when you're trying to solve these problems, remember to make it easier, just take it step by step. Don't do all the steps in your head, because then you could end up with the wrong answer. And then you would have to erase all that work, and it's not worth it. So just take it step by step and write it all out. And if you haven't seen my other videos, like simplifying radicals, which you will need if you want to do this, or midpoint formula, check those out and watch my other videos too. They'll be in the description box below, or click the annotation. And if you're not subscribed, please subscribe. I make videos every Saturday or Sunday. This week I actually uploaded on Monday, so sorry for being late. And if you're not following my Twitter, please follow that. And yeah, that's it. Thanks for watching.